It's been a pretty quiet weekend for the most part. Haven't really made much in terms of moves since yesterday. In fact, ADA price is very similar to what we were talking about yesterday morning. We're floating around that 66-cent range, despite getting a little bit of red overnight. And we're clawing away at that early this morning. It's about 6:40 a.m. Central Standard Time, and this is a great sign to see nice stability as the day progresses here. About $80 billion in daily trading volume across crypto market. But we did have something actually very exciting happen yesterday for ADA, and this could be the big step towards actually getting an ADA spot ETF approval. We need to talk about all that and more. Now, I'm loving what I'm seeing because, again, ADA is just continuing to hold structure. We're following this trend line. Understand that we do have the possibility of a breakdown here, kind of like we talked about yesterday, because of that huge concentration of short and long leverage. It's a question of what way does the market tip? Which way do we get momentum? Now, what I will say is that BTC is showing some signs of still wanting to creep to the upside. In fact, we could see BTC come down, maybe retest around 103.5 or so, kind of create that inverted head and shoulders here. And then that might be where we decide to run across crypto market. That would obviously drag ADA and many other assets up as well. But this is a great setup for next week. We have our CPI report next week. All these things could, in fact, give us a little fuel that helps carry us to the upside. Now, something exciting that did happen for ADA yesterday was this. Go back here. Nasdaq has officially proposed adding ADA to the benchmark index behind the Hashdex crypto ETF. Now, for those that aren't familiar, this is the first basket ETF we have actually seen approved so far. This was approved back in December, currently holds just Bitcoin and Ethereum, but this is a pretty big revision now to this. Now, I took the time to read through this and I want to give you guys some clarity surrounding this. There was a filing that was done back in March surrounding this to add 5 additional assets to this. And what we have now seen is that there has actually been an approval to adjust the index behind this ETF product. All right. So this has now added ADA, SOL, XLM, and XRP to this. And what this is essentially a reference to track and measure its performance compared to the price performance of the index constituents, which is just Ethereum and BTC. Now, this is a big deal. This is essentially a test run, if you will. The official ETF itself has not been updated, but this is how they get to that point. If they can track its progress, it shows good performance, you could see the first official implementation of a basket ETF product here in the US. And why this is such a big deal is if you see these other products, ADA, SOL, XLM, XRP, in this basket ETF, it can in fact greenlight us towards an ADA spot ETF approval. Now, I know that some people hate the idea of an ADA spot ETF. I get it. But unfortunately, we are in fact seeing institutional money add ADA and many other assets currently. This has been tracked in many different ways. I've shown that, obviously over the course of May, we did have a positive institutional inflow, or did have a positive institutional net flow for ADA. And institutional money has gotten to the point where it's a part of this cycle now. It's a part of this industry and it's not going away. And it's a question of, have we done enough to front run those entities? And I would say that, yeah, for ADA, we have. Luckily with ADA, we actually have a very well-rounded out community. We've been around since obviously 2017, and we hold such a large portion of the supply that if there is in fact a product launch for ADA, and all these other institutions have to accumulate, well, it's going to do some pretty exciting things to price, especially if people are unwilling to unload. So that's just something to think about and consider. Now, what I will say again is it's been a pretty quiet week overall. We have seen accumulation and removal of supply this week for ADA. It's been a little bit lower than what we've been seeing as of late. This week, only $24.87 million worth of ADA removed from exchanges. It's one of the lowest weeks we've seen since basically the middle of April, and that's okay. Remember, we've had a lot of stuff going on this week. There's been a lot of news. There's been not so great reports. There's been chop, right? We've dealt with obviously Trump and Elon news, but things will be getting better as time goes on. I'm really looking forward to next week. Again, just hope for a positive, a good CPI report, one that is, again, either a meet or beat in terms of expectations. That might, again, spark the market and create a little bit more green that we have, in fact, been waiting for. Now, again, did want to point to the fact that I really want to see a weekly close above this 50-week moving average, 67.5 cents, guys. That's where we need to be by the end of today. And maybe we get a little spark, maybe we get a little push. We're getting it so far, and we'll see if this does in fact turn into a green day overall. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.